Good morning. Good morning. Oh, that's right. I think that red pencil's downstairs. So, I'll run downstairs and grab that real quick. I'll just use the stuff I got up here. What do we got? Oh, it was you. In a while. All right. I like this pencil anyway. Mid vermilion. Good morning, everybody coming in. Just doing some Pinterest reference sketching here this morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. See over there. Good morning. Shanju. Make sure that's on there. How are we doing out there? So I guess I can move this up a little bit for the YouTube side. That's That's better. No drop. Not very many drop frames. That's looking good. All right. Good morning. Labas Ritas. Let's see. Good morning, people popping in. Don't hesitate to pop in, say something. We got a little morning study going on here. There's the shoulder up there. That's better. So, let's see. So move this over here a little better. All right. That gives us a good foundation for the ultimate sketch, right? Oh, hello over there. We'll make you pop. That's just spam. Scrap that guy real quick. Bam. Poof. Good morning. So, let's see. Have some more fun with playing around with this guy here. I'll try again. Let's get some drops in here. I'm going to go pick up some other inks today or something. At the art store. All right. Got loose. Something loose on there. Why is it jumping out again? Let's see. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. Why is it spattering again? I wasn't doing this yesterday. Well, I guess I could put the lid on, right? Oops. Run out of ink already? Let's see how this does, huh? That would be it's so bizarre. Working just fine. I didn't change anything. No settings changed. Let's see how that goes, huh? What the hell? What's going on here? Ugh. All right. passage on here. It's so bizarre. I don't know why it's splattered like that. Huh. I'll have to fidget with that later, I guess. Let that dry. I mean, it looks interesting, right? The splattering, but I don't know why it's doing that. Unless the needle got clogged. Right? At least it's interesting. Alright, let's just do some ink in here, huh? Okay, so check the things, you know, supposedly it's all nice and tight in there. It's not, it's not. We'll do that. Fix it. So helps when making a mess. I don't think I lose on the inside again. So that's what happened last time. Alright, anyway. Let's get the ink in. Alright. Good morning. Sketching some stuff off of Pinterest. This is some kind of post-apocalyptic cosplay outfit here. Practicing some inking. Just kind of warming up for the day. I've got a bunch of stuff to do. And I have to come on for like an hour to kind of warm up a little bit. Hello over there on YouTube. Saboteur. Made a mess with the. For some reason the airbrush is spitting again. It was fine like the other day, or yesterday. Like, it worked great. And then like today it's just like spitting everywhere. I don't know what's going on with it. So yeah, that's what I'm working on here. Just like some practice warm up stuff. Yeah, temperamental. I'm not sure what the deal is. I have to. I'm not an expert at all in it. I have no training, so it's just me figuring out. Oh, we got a bot over here. Hate those guys. Um, yeah, I have to finish that other drawing I started a couple days ago, and move forward with my little project here. I like using this nib. It's a Type C calligraphy nib. Um, Kind of nice for drawing like really nice direct lines. Good, right? Yeah, I like it. Um, it's a flat side, and then you can draw kind of very narrowly by going sideways, and so you get a fat line there and a narrow line there. It has a little bit of a bounce, which makes me like it a little bit more than the parallel pens, which I've got a couple of those in different sizes. Problem with them is they're really stiff. Like they don't have a lot of bend in them. So they do have certain advantages too, where you can kind of draw on the side. But let's say a circle here. We'll deal with that later with a template. This guy has a lot of stuff on him. Guy was attacked. Yeah, well, that I pulling out the airbrush to kind of just put down some tone over it to kind of play with it, and it just like exploded all over the place. Started shooting out the top of the reservoirs. It feels like maybe there's an air leak getting in somewhere, but I'm not sure where. So I'll have to spend a little time today checking it out. That's what happened before. I was having an air leak, and then I didn't realize it. But I don't know why there would be one now. I mean, it's tightened up, I thought. So, I don't have any training in airbrush, so it's just like me looking at YouTube and figuring it out. But I like the splatter. It's just that wasn't. I was anticipating something different when I was firing it off. And so, a lot of stuff with art is like learning to take advantage of what problems you have, and so I'm not worried about it being there. It's not like bad. It just wasn't what I was targeting. So yeah, see what we can do with that. Oopsie, right? Looks, I think it looks cool. It's just I like splatters, but definitely wasn't the specific thing I was looking for in the moment. And hopefully I can figure it out. Yeah, it could be a block in there. I thought I'd cleaned it out completely, but you know when I finish, I put some water in there and I spray it till it comes out clear, and then I run. There's like this fluid, not a cleaning fluid, but it's. I should probably maybe get some of that. When I go to the art supply shop today, I'll pick up some of that. But um, cleaning fluid and but it's a fluid. It's like a fluidity improver or something like that. So I ran some of that into it when I was done, and then cleaned that out. But maybe some of that got stuck in there or something, causing it to backflow. Probably user error. So I need to sit down and figure out what. It's always part of the learning process when you're one of the problems with self. The base art, I have some Pinterest stuff up there. So, come on, over here. There we go, right there. So that's what it's from. So it's just a kind of a warm up sketch. I'm not worried about too much when doing this stuff. It's got like a skull thing in the hoodie, which is kind of interesting. But oh, the what I did with that's I used where's that pencil? There it is. It's a Derwent Inktense mid vermilion, medium vermilion, which I like. It's actually water soluble. It's a watercolor pencil, and so I could get it wet and it would actually soften and smear. But I like the color. I left the red pencil downstairs, so I thought I'd use that instead. So I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things. Winter break being over and having dealt with all the things that I needed to deal with. I think for the most part, having dealt with them. there. Some kind of post-apocalyptic style cosplay thing. Oops, too loud. Just kicked my headphones cable off my head. I think this cable would be long enough, but apparently it's not. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I usually do like a light pencil sketch. I like this color because it's kind of warm. And it's got a lot of an orangey red. So it leans pretty warm. So I like that. So I was coming over here to turn this down. There we go. Can't hear myself think. Yeah, it's a little too loud. Let's see if I can back that up a little bit up here. Wrong way. There we go. Scoot this over a little bit. Up, over, down, up, down. There we go. Block the view, like my giant head that sometimes does. Over on the YouTube side. Have a good one. I won't be on. Well, yeah, as soon as it's done, I'll probably get off. Got some things to do this morning. Ugh. And again, I get ink on the shaft of this thing. Leave this ink open during the day. Let it dry out some. Just like a little too wet. So I feel like that's why it gets a thick line like that I don't actually want there. Let's see. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in. I'm probably on for another 20 minutes or so. Let's see. Yeah, so it's been a slow process getting back to like figuring out how to make everything function properly around here, and sometimes I still run into problems. Let's see. I try to get on there earlier, so it's slow starting in the morning sometimes. Good morning. Got quiet in here all of a sudden. So it goes over there. Good morning. All right, details. Okay, where I put that 102 at should be in that bag over there, but I'll pull that out today. See how that goes. Let's see, we got a bot over on Twitch. Not sure what you're saying, but hopefully it's nice. Let's see, what was that? Twitch. There we go. A little bad rod of the duel. Let's see, is it there? Over here. See it in there. Thanks guys for jumping out. Appreciate that. It's not really. I thought I might have captured it in there. Not seeing it. There's on a shorter stub thingy. See it. Didn't think it was, but you never know, right? Where I would have moved it to. Oh well, I'll use the other guy. It'll be adequate for my services today, right? Ugh, what? just to bring in some of these details. And, hey, Bosch. Watch out, buddy. Getting stuck on the cable. There you go. Good boy. That's your bed's under there. Get that out of your way. There you go. Wow. You're just causing problems, huh? Dog came over and lay down. It's okay, Bosch. Oh, lay down. It's okay. Lay down. Dog came over and you draw this person's face, bro. Well, that's his face right here, right? I'm drawing some from Pinterest reference, so he's got like a skull mask or something on there. It's my morning warm-up. I've got other projects I'm working on, but so it's like I get for an hour and just kind of go through some what I call warm-ups. And involve different things I'm practicing or thinking about. I might throw a little ink tone on here when we get close to being done. So I'll do a little with the airbrush, but it just doesn't want to do its thing today. for some reason. He was yelling at me, exploding all over the place. Figure out where that clog or whatever's causing that's it. Alright, let's get the hair dryer on there. Dry that off a bit. Let's come back here, Mr. Nib. Hair dryer. Let's get the bushes out. You. This isn't quite finished yet, but getting there. I'm gonna put some splash some tone on here. So, yeah, a little extra. Names of artists I admire. That is a very, very broad, massive list of people. Let's see. Impact. Well, like, there's a lot of painters I know very specifically what they did for me. Like the work of Stephen Assail or Vincent Desiderio. They're not illustrators or concept artists, but or comic artists or anything like that. But they what led me to go to the grad school I went to. They both have classes, and definitely people I learned a lot about painting from, and one of the reasons I went where I went. In comics, there's a lot of people I really like. A lot of these pretty impactful when I was really, really young, and still like their work. And people like Travis Charest or Charest. I'm gonna dry this off real quick so I put some white on here. always important to keep a hairbrush, a hairdryer around, right? Um, so I really like his stuff. That's not how I work at all, but I really really like his stuff. I like a lot of those '90s guys that I first saw when I was looking at reading comics originally, like Jim Lee or um, what's his face, Mark Silvestri. They weren't always like great writers. Like I like a lot of their art, but they weren't great. I think they were that good at the writing part of it. But 90% of the reason you read a comic is not so much for the writing as it is for the art. You know, it's like there's always that debate: is who's more important, the writer or the artist? And they're both important, but I think it's undeniable that what makes comics attractive to people is the art. Um, you wouldn't read it really if there wasn't very good art for the most part. There's some exceptions to that, but that's just kind of a fact of the matter. Um, so I like a lot of people. I like Chris Bacalo's older stuff, especially what he did with comic book series Generation Next. I really really like how he did the art in it, illustrating. Um, but I really like how he handles, the inking is handled in those books. I think he worked on Sandman for a while as well. So those are really impactful. I like a lot of what Sean Gordon. There's like a number of like really kind of sketchy artists that I like right now. So they're very different than those '90s characters. So like Sean Gordon Murphy, really like how he handles ink and storytelling and how he draws vehicles. And then there's James Heron, who's just really great. Pretty much everything he does. And then Daniel Warren Johnson, I really like what he's doing. He's very very loose and open with his drawing, which I also like a lot. So that's a pretty good list, I think, right? How about you? What do you like? So that's what I've been looking at lately. Again, it always changes, and there's definitely more. than that, but that's kind of where I'm at the moment in terms of the things that I personally pay attention to. Let's see. Let's put this out. Put the date on here. 14th, huh? Anyway, I think that's about it for this morning. Thanks everybody that came in. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you all later.